What goes on? So this is my vlog for whenever. However, um, true fan loneliness. I think what would true fan loneliness be? True forced loneliness deals with women, right? And there's only one female I care about, and if she doesn't care about me, it's off to Facebook dating and just not giving a shit about life after 46 years. How do you give a shit about anything anymore? Um, True fan loneliness. I guess it's when we all hit a wall, and a lot of the things we like. I was going to use the Simpsons clip where all the kids watch the worst episode of Itchy and Scratchy and then go outside because it's like, oh, I guess Itchy and Scratchy aren't violent anymore. Let's go outside and play ball. But I don't go outside very much, and when I do, there's a lot of cholos, drunks, reprobates, and smelly people, and people going to church and all that. Does not a lot of good that. But I think we try Star Wars. Now let's go over the big fan things that we all care about. Okay, Star Wars. I have like the last chapters of Star Wars that Dark Horse ever made. I think there's honestly fatigue from Disney overproducing shit. Now the woke or not woke, the SJW themes versus the anti SJW themes, young people writing and not knowing what they're doing. That's I think that is obvious. But more importantly, there's so many chapters in Star Wars that Star Wars tends to overwrite itself or retcon itself. That George Lucas's 6 movies and even the Clone Wars, which he wanted the Clone Wars wedged in there, like Antilles wedged in there, just to kind of give it more depth. That's kind of now getting all watered down by whatever Disney wants to do. So whether it's woke or not, there's just too many new chapters. And I feel like Dark Horse, for all the crazy stuff they did, they had some really great ideas. I liked Cade Skywalker at the end. I liked Ania Solo at the end. I even liked the alternate universe and the beginnings of the Jedi. That I mean, Dark Horse took fucking risks. So I'm not really seeing that kind of creativity with. It's like Joe Rogan, and they're kind of Joe Rogan will simp for like things like Bud Light, and other things will be like, yeah, he'll criticize Star Wars for the what the fuck moments they do not have. So Star Wars to me is done. I don't really care. If there's something I really want, great. Not gonna do it. And I'm gonna admit, Rebel Moon was fine to watch, but I just don't watch it again. Don't care. Like the Super Mario Brothers movie. I'll watch Sonic 2 again before I watch Super Mario Brothers. But the video game movies are few far in between, and I still consider Pixels. I know people say, why Pixels? Because Pixels is a better movie. Pixels is the best video game movie ever made. I challenge anyone to tell me why it isn't. To tell me because it's not this and it's not this and it's not this, that's not good enough. I want you to tell me why you hate it. I mean, you hate the if video game adapted movies are not your thing, and you'd rather watch The English Patient or The Queen or Elizabeth or I don't know The Artists, which was the Artist with the silent film with the dog. Remember the dog passed away years ago, and it was like a silent movie tribute with the husband and wife. That's actually a good movie. I mean, if you rather watch those movies, that's one thing. But to tell me that Pixels, right, with Kevin James and Adam Sandler is not good, I want to know why. So I'm kind of iffy on that topic because I don't know if we've mined everything we have, right? I am liking the last Airbender series. I've never watched the live action movie. Remember all the racist narratives with that, and made by an Indian guy, right? Um, what else we got? Superhero movies. I feel like I'm done with those. What's the point of those? I think we've explored everything with superhero movies. Um, my belief is that Sony wanted Venom and Spider-Man to meet, and that's why you saw a tease at the end of Venom: Let There Be Carnage. And Disney's like, "What the fuck are you? Can we have a chat? Let's have a chat, right, with the executives and say, yeah, we're not going to have Spider-Man and Venom meet. How about we don't do that?" And for some reason, they just backpedaled. I think that's what happened. I think that Disney got involved. They swooped down and intervened and said, yeah, we're not going to have the two meet. We need Tom Holland in our MCU. Where's Tom Holland's where's Spider-Man in the MCU right now? Oh, he's fucked up. He's taking a vacation. So that's that. That's fine. It feels like it's his last chapter. Animated Miles Morales is still going on, but not Spider-Man. The superhero movies, as far as DC, and Marvel's isn't helping, and Madam Web wasn't helping. So like, I just don't give a shit. Now you can care about James Gunn stuff, you can like it, but I'm just done. I'll watch Superman and Lois. I'll watch Batman Part 2. I'll watch Joker 2, but Joker 2, I'm kind of like my attitude is just right now. But I'm looking at these three things and I say, that's pretty much it. James Gunn can. I mean, I gave James Gunn a chance. I watched The Suicide Squad, and that's the only DVD I never bought purposefully. I could have spent my money on something else. What other things do we have? Masters of the Universe. Okay. Now, and I'll talk about a couple of other things before I wrap this up. Masters of the Universe. Now, I talked about this with Mr. Home Arcade. Mr. Home Arcade showed off his Mossman figures in a community post. I said, you know, they did us dirty with Mossman. I'm still a little bit upset. And his response was, oh, you mean the Massivers? Oh, no, man. You can get that on display at Ollie's. LOL. Mr. Home Arcade. You know, do the voice. Well, the thing is that that's a very dismissive tone. That's fine. I don't personally hate the guy. I can't know the guy. I don't know the guy. So, but I wish him luck in his collecting and his customizing. The customizing that I think somebody else does. He goes to other people. Is really well done. But it goes to a couple of problems with Mattel that I have. Okay, the first one is that a lot of the figures, they look like something a high school or young man in his 20s would customize. I remember as far back as the 90s, as Wizard Magazine. Okay, remember Wizard Magazine? There used to be before IGN, before your favorite YouTuber who would, or before home pages, right, of your favorite stuff, and before YouTube and social media, we had Wizard Magazine. People could talk shit, people could say whatever, and you get all the latest news. Everybody, Jim Lee and Todd McFarlane, who I'll get to in a bit, everybody was young. They looked like they got out of college, and they're trying to get out in the world, and they're trying to figure things out. And I said, yeah, you know, this is so cool. And you see customized figures, maybe customized He-Man, customized superheroes. Lord Grasp and Terror, the newer ones, they look like fucking customized figures, which is fine if you're just taking old figures and repurposing them to look like new characters. But when this is fucking Mattel, then that's an issue. Because then it's like they have access to so many molds. If they didn't throw their molds away, which I suspect they did, I suspect they threw their molds away for a lot of toys. If you know the best way to save money is you have a vault of all the He-Man and other action figure related. So basically anything that's not Barbie or Hot Wheels, okay? You take those molds and you store them away, and then you go and get somebody to say, could you go through the archives in the vault and see if we can find something that looks like these concepts and ideas? Because if we do if we make them from scratch, that's going to cost us money, and it's going to cost you your paycheck. You don't want to work for free, do you? So they have access to other things and make it even better. But they just use the same 10 molds of arms and legs and say, oh, you see, we did it. They said, oh, Eternia. Well, if nobody backs Eternia, we won't make Eternia. And to adjust for inflation, okay, let's just say $100 that amount of work if you made better plastic. But it's still the $650 or the $400. It doesn't even come that close. What I think they should have done, or they could have done, was separate Eternia into 4 sections. a monorail set with replacement towers, so the monorail goes around these little big plastic towers. Uh, or these little beams, right? You could have had that. One box had that. One box had the Grayskull Tower. One box for Viper Tower, and one box for Eternia Tower. And that way, like encyclopedias, when you go to the supermarket back in the 80s and 90s and you get the whole set of encyclopedia books, you would have gotten the whole set. And it might, granted, it's not the big box. It's not going to be the collector's big box, but at least you would have had that whole set. And that would have been the compromise. And now let's get to the Mossman, the animated Mossman, the one from Netflix from 2021, not the Alan Oppenheimer one from Revelation, which you can get. I have that figure, right? And I like that figure because it's not Beastman repurposed. What upsets me is not the fact that it is Mattel. It's worth money now. It was never released in the United States. I showed you all the unavailable. We don't know when it'll be available. As soon as possible on the UK site. Now, there's one country, which I will not say which one, where you could find it. Unfortunately, they don't ship to the US. And everywhere you have to go on eBay and find it. So we never even had a chance to get it. Mattel does these things. On top of course, I saw Hebro's channel about the elevator shaft top not being included. My Lady Slither had 2 left hands. Mattel does some shitty things. Now you can invest in Mondo figures, but that's mostly for collectors, and they're very good figures. I don't know about the quality control. I've heard about the quality control not being good. Mondo is more for a collector. So if you have a fat wallet, you can do it. But I feel like the joy is in collecting inexpensive things and then watching it go up in price or watching it become a real collector's item 20 years down the road. My heart was in the 2000X series because it's, as Denny O'Neil once said, ha ha ho ho, now that I'm an adult and I have a drinking habit and a drug habit and I got to go see my shrink and a divorce attorney, isn't life great? So I wanted my He-Man toys to grow up with me. I wanted Skeletor and He-Man to look more adult. And the Four Horsemen did that. And they made statues. I wasn't able to get all the statues, but they looked great. I mean, the statue of Leech and Mantenna and the Snake Men, Tongue Lashor, that big fat tongue that they made, those look great. I mean, they just looked fantastic. That the Masterverse toys come like 90% of that kind of quality. They almost get that. Some of the stuff, even the classics, looked good. But I should have been a collector for that stuff because they had every kind of figure. You go on Amazon. Queen Grayskull's really expensive. The original one, not the Black Queen Skull or the Black King Grayskull, which made no. I think they were trying to get Andra to be the one with power. That's why they changed his skin color. I mean, if they wanted to update King Grayskull, they could have given him red hair and made him look, or give him a beard, made him look like a Nordic Viking, So yeah, it's when Mattel does dirty like that, that's bullshit. And then they ended the CGI cartoon for 5 more episodes of something that is forgettable. I don't care to watch it again. I don't care to see it again. If you wish to watch it again, you can watch it with my commentary tracks. I have them there. I have them in my playlist. So, 2 more things. I'm going to start a new genre. I'm going to explain that in detail. And that's where my focus is now, I think. I think I'm going to call it Gothic Metal Lore. Lore could be fantasy. It could be set in the real world but have fantasy elements like Psycho Goreman does. A Psycho Goreman's a little bit of both. It has a fantasy world and it has the real world, but it has all the fantastic creatures in it. So I'm going to focus on that. I think that's where my heart is. I think I'm done with most of the stuff I used to be. I still have them, but most of the stuff now is just it's done for me. Like it's like you see what happens when we let other people take charge, whether it's woke or it's broke. It's either woke or it's broke. And in a lot of cases, it's just broke, and it's not what it used to be. I think I've reached that age where I'm like, but you know, I didn't come from a time of just phonographs and I Love Lucy and black and white TVs. We, and I say us 40-year-olds, came from a time where there were cool shit. There was a lot of undiscovered countries with Superman, undiscovered countries with Batman, undiscovered countries with Star Wars. Star Wars, Superman, and Batman had about 60 years of history back then. And Star Wars had about 20 years, or less than 20. They were undiscovered countries because they only had so much media tied to them. Now there's media about them all the time. Marvel superheroes all the time. But it used to be in collector cards. You know, if you wanted more Marvel, you had to go and get collector cards, trading cards, or action figures. And also, I think I forgot to mention that if Mattel pisses you off, you know who the real rock star is right now? Todd fucking McFarlane. And I think I have, this is damaged. I fucked up. Yes, I know. I can't take care of everything, but I'll show you. This is horribly damaged, but you can see in there is Spawn, right? There's the Violator. This is where is it? Todd Toys. This is when it was Todd Toys, but for legal reasons, yes, I know everything's reversed when the camera is facing me. But I'm assuming you can read that. Hold it up to a mirror, everyone. Hold your device or your TV up to a mirror. You'll see it. So Todd Toys, right? This is all damaged now, but the figures are still intact. Not to worry. But yeah, so Todd Toys, because of legal reasons, there was another Todd Toys somewhere around the world. So he changed it to McFarlane Toys. And I was trying to make a Batman figure in '96 with clay in high school. And who knows, we may still get that Batman Spawn crossover 2 set. You know, I know Todd wants that badly. So Todd has gone from making Spawn, and he still makes Spawn when he can, but his big focus is on DC superheroes. So it's expensive for me. It's not Mondo expensive, but it can be. But if you really want to get into real great action figure collecting, and if you're a DC fan, and He-Man has met Superman a couple of times, try to get that. Try to get a lot of those. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. So you can go nuts. I mean, Todd McFarlane is the rock star right now at this time. He may not be the rock star 10 years from now, but right now in the 2020s, he is the rock star. He is the guy that if you like DC Comics ever, you can get them. You can get them. There's something there for you. Even if you don't like every single figure, there is something there. I got like 2 figures. Yeah, like 2 figures. I considered getting the Justice League figures from the movie, but well, we'll see. But they're right there. They're right there. So, what's my conclusion? Oh yeah, somebody saw my Psycho Goreman review and is trying to criticize me. Look, I'm gonna admit to you right now, I am not the most professionally made, and I know my sister would criticize me too, but my sister only has 2 subscribers and 1 video and less than 300 views for her video. I'm not going to go out of my way to make a professionally made video with screen capture music and fancy graphics if I just get 1 or 2 people to show up. Okay? What is the fucking point? The point is to make great videos and have millions of people come to you, and then if you're able to, and if you get donations or you get monetized, then you can buy better equipment, then you can make better videos. Okay. You know, I can see, I have to do this for myself, and I have to do this eventually for people to see what I'm doing and then be turned on by it or not. Okay. There are times every now and then where somebody says, hey, you got this fact wrong, or you did this thing wrong because Like okay, for example, let's say somebody calls me a cockhead because the milk bottle in the back looks like a juxtapose. Okay, so there's different things that, you know, I take very little advice from people, especially people who maybe have more subs than me. But I pointed this guy in the direction of the Completionist or Gerard or Review Tech USA. What a piece of shit, Review Tech USA. I will not be recommending his videos anymore. What he does is his own business. It's not as bad as what the Completionist did, but shit in hell. Why should anybody work for that guy? I mean, there's just some shitty people. And I try to be as not shitty as possible. So my quality of the videos will stay the way they are until time warrants that I will change them and upgrade them. And I feel that they need to, okay? But I think after 8.5 to 9 years of doing these kinds of videos, I mean, I went from a 3DS to a smartphone to a better phone to a tablet to a phone and tablet and phone. I feel like I know what I'm doing and I need your support, even just watching. You know, if you don't donate to my Cash App, if you don't, send me anything through the mail, or if I have memberships or Patreons, if you don't go to those, that's fine. Just watching it and telling people that I'm here and getting people to come in, that's all that really needs to be done at this time. If you got the money to spend, hey, please send some money my way. Otherwise, don't worry about it. And don't tell me how to do my shit. And that's it. That's all there is to it. All right, so I'm going to go over what goth metal lore is and some gaming. All right, I got to have breakfast, whatever that is.